You're listening to Head Vomit. The following episode contains crude, rude, and often offensive content that may feel dirty in your ears. If you're concerned about your ears, please choose carefully when and even if to listen. This podcast is ad-libbed. If you are seeking a libbed podcast, look elsewhere. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the creators.
So hello, welcome back to another episode of Where Are They Now? And today we interview Scud McAllister, a very lucky lottery winner, but we're going to find out, did he squander his millions or did he invest for the future? Let's find out. Scud, how's it going?
I squandered it all, Tony. I squandered it all.
Scud, tell us, first, how did you become a millionaire?
I'm no good, I tell you.
You're not going to tell us?
No, I'll tell you. I'm just saying I'm no good as a human.
Yes, we'll get into that. But first, we need to know, how did you win the lottery?
I'll tell you the story. I'm sorry, I wear my heart on my sleeve, you know. Basically, before all this craziness was in my life, I was just a regular binman, you know, taking out people's trash. And so I was on the street one morning, you know, hating my life, hating my job, hating my wife. One day I was doing this recycling run round the local town, and I lifted up a bin to get the bags out and put them in the fucking truck, right? And then stapled to the roof of the bin was a lottery ticket. And I did nothing of it, you know. I did nothing of it. I just thought, some soppy bastards, stapled a lottery ticket here by accident or something. I'd fucking ripped the thing off. And then somebody calls out, like, hey, Scud, you fucking wanker. It's lunchtime and they're holding up a nice tuna sandwich. And I'm like, all right, lad. Without really thinking about it, I just fucking stuck the ticket in my pocket. Didn't think no more of it till I got home. And then later on, the old wife finds it in my trousers before she's washing my wet trousers, you see. Hey, what's this now? And she puts it between her fat tits. Later on, again, I know this is a bit long-winded, you know, but you need to get the fucking groundwork in there, you know, for all the crazy stuff that's about to happen. And basically, the lottery was on. She said, I got this. She pulled the ticket out. We could just about make the numbers out. And I thought that maybe that fucking 9 is really a 6, you know. It's too good to be true. But nevertheless, the TV told me I was a millionaire.
So what did you do when you found out you were a millionaire?
I immediately went to the bathroom and shit about 3 kebabs worth. After I'd done that, I turned around and I threw another 3 up through my mouth. And I took the ticket. Because I don't trust no one, you know what I'm saying? It was the way I was raised ever since my dad tried to castrate me with a fucking iron brew can. But anyway, that's another story. Took the ticket. I put in some Kleenex and I stuck it up my arse. And I smuggled it. I the fucking cashier at the newsagents, when I pulled it out in front of her, I said, hey, there's the ticket. And she looked at me like, gone out, like, mate, not only have you just pulled that out your ass and it's fucking disgusting, I ain't touching it. Also, you know you don't collect £10 million from a fucking newsagents. I said, I didn't know, but I do now. You know what I mean? I didn't know, but I do now. So I went down the council office and I said, hey, look, what did I do this? Give me money. And they said, no, you don't do that at the council either. So about 10 or 11 government organisations later, I finally got this call from this fucking wanker. He said he was from the lottery or something. And then I thought, fuck you, these fucking prank call. I was like, hang on a minute, I did win the lottery. So I was like, okay, fair enough, I'll test this guy. How much did I win? How are you going to get it to me? And he said, you won about £10 million. I said, about? And he said, yeah, it's about 160 more. I said, 160 more pounds? He's like, yeah. And I said, just give me the 10 million. I'm not greedy. You know what I mean? Just give it to me. And he said, how do you want the money transferred? And I said, directly to my fucking door in a fucking suitcase, you wanker. How do you think I want it transferred? What, you think I want a fucking guy in a penny farthing to roll up? I don't want no ceremony. Just give me my fucking money. He said, no, sir. I did not mean that we were going to physically give you $10 million. I meant we would transfer it to your bank. And I said, are you trying to be funny? Is this some sort of scam? You know I don't have a bank account. And he said, well, you need to get one because you're a millionaire now, son. And it's the only way we're getting you the money. And I said, fuck you. And then he hung up.
But how did it make you feel? You just won the lottery.
Oh, he's over the moon, yeah.
How do you receive the money? Do you get it in one lump sum, or is it paid to your monthly installments?
You get all of it straight away. And I think in hindsight, that was maybe the problem. As soon as I opened their fancy bank account and they paid the money in, I just looked at it and I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? There were so many zeros there. I'd never seen so many zeros in my life. And they said, yeah, you're a millionaire. So I went into the bank and I sat down with the manager, you know, as this wee woman. And she said, oh, so glad to have you here, Mr. Scott, yeah. Oh, Scotty boy, yeah, we love you, all this. This bitch is only being nice to me because I got 10 million schmackos in my fucking account. I was nobody last week, but I was on my way to being a somebody.
So, first purchases? Did you get a nice car? Did you upgrade your house? What did you do?
I bought a person.
You bought a person?
Hey, that's right. I thought, what's more expensive than a human life? So I just went out and I found a person and I bought him.
What did you do with this person?
Hey, they're in my house.
So you bought a person, they're in your house. What did you buy next?
I only bought an apron, you know, because you can't have a sex slave walking around in the nude all the time. It's not proper, especially in front of the wife and kids, you know.
So you bought a sex slave?
That's right. I was renting hookers at first, but then I thought, why rent when you got the money to buy? That's what my dad always said. The one piece of advice that junkie gave me was, if you've got the chance to own it, do it. Don't pay in installments, son. That's how the banking cunts get you.
Did you go on holiday? Did you do anything exotic?
We went to Marbella. We went to Egypt. We went to Cyprus. I went to Thailand as well, except everyone was trying to kill me there. I don't know why, but I think it was something to do with my money, you know, because I flaunted it, you know. I used to take like wads of cash around with me all the time, and I used to look at people and be like, hey, see you dickhead, try it.
When people win the lottery, they quite often make investments. We're just interested in this in the show and how people save the money for later. You must be living good now. How's it going?
I invested in a lot of drugs. And I mean, when I say invested, I don't mean I invested in drug companies, or I just invested a lot into snorting cocaine. It was a really poor investment because all I was doing was killing myself. Unfortunately, now I'm back on the dole.
You came into your millions when the world was going through a very crazy time. It was the pandemic, and a lot of millionaires were basically using their wealth to help invest in vaccines and things like this and help the community. Did you help out in any way?
I built myself a massive doomsday complex under the earth. It's so deep it's almost to the crust. But the technology wasn't quite ready for me to have a full Scottish experience down there. It was like a wee James Bond cave. They had one of them fires that you step down and there's a fucking fireplace and a fucking rug and a widescreen TV, and there's fucking women sitting on couches in bikinis just drinking wine and all that sort of shite. I had it all, man, in my doomsday bunker.
And how much did that cost, roughly?
It cost $9.5 million, which isn't bad, I'm told. It was one of the bargain basement doomsday complexes they had on the market. Bill Gates, his costs like $5.9 billion or something like that. So mine is a very bargain basement one.
How long did you have your millions for?
It was about 4 months.
4 months.
That's right.
That's an incredibly short time.
Aye, well, it depends on your perspective, really. You know, those Wall Street bankers, they lose hundreds of millions of dollars in a second.
The next lottery winner, going from your experience, any advice you'd give to them with what to do with their money?
Don't buy a slave. You know, they're overrated and they don't appreciate your patronage. Don't build a doomsday bunker either, because looking back on it, it was a bit of a waste of money. You know, it's nice to have like women underground in a velvety shag pad with like wine and coke and big screen TVs and orgies, and you could just stream porn and just fucking buy a fireplace and you can fuck 5 bitches at once on a fucking lion skin. I mean, we all want to do that sort of stuff, right? But I'm telling you, You can do it all above ground. You don't need to be in a doomsday bunker at all. It's kind of weird, to be honest.
Do you still go to the bunker now? Can you keep this lifestyle up? What are your future plans?
Well, it turns out I didn't really think about like tax or electricity or power. I had the money to build it. After that, I couldn't maintain it. I had to sell it. Unfortunately, I bought it from an investor in Mexico who turned out to be a high-ranking member of the cartel, so he never gave me my money. I went to El Paso in Texas as a neutral territory, you know. He seemed like an alright guy, but then at the end of the day, you know, he did threaten to kill me and my family and said, like, if you ask me for that money one more time, gringo, I'll cut your head off and I'll do your wife's head too. But apart from that, he was a nice guy, you know, like nothing against Mexicans.
And future plans?
I've got nothing ahead in my life, pal. I told you at the start I'm no fucking good. I'm living £50 to mouth, you know, every week from government. I ain't got nothing, and I mean nothing. My slaves left me, my wife's left me. I've been getting out my head on like lowest quality drugs I can find and like stuff like white lightning. I've just been getting fucking smashed every day, all day. It's like a no end in hell.
You had everything. You had the money to start over, to create a new life. Most of us couldn't dream of winning that kind of money.
Is there a question there, pal?
Sorry, don't you regret it? Squandering this money?
Oh, right, I see. Well, I do and I don't. Because I think, like, where would I be if that hadn't happened to me? It was a learning experience. It was oh, fuck, I've ruined my life. I'm worse off now when I had the money. I never should have been born.
Right, okay. We're just going to end this here. What are your thoughts on the National Lottery? Is it a good thing? Is it good for society? What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, you know? I'm not going to sit here and go like, okay, the lottery wasn't good for me, so it's not going to be good for anyone, you know what I mean? Someone with a really strong moral code could probably do pretty well if they got handed a lot of money, or, you know, somebody with smarts to go out and play the markets or whatever the fuck people do, you know what I mean? To a low down son of a bitch like me, no, it's no good. You're wasting what little cash you could. If you play the lottery once a week, you could afford like a really, really good pack of biscuits. I'm talking about like the Belgian chocolate ones. You see them biscuits? They're like $3.95 from Waitrose. You could afford them in 4 weeks if you didn't take the lottery ticket. It's just buying paper that you're gonna flush down the drain. You get yourself some cookies. See how you never treat yourself to luxury biscuits? You could, you fucking idiot.
Great philosophy there. Great philosophy. And that's all we have time for this week. Next week, we interview Sir Richard Branson.
I'm a cousin. Studies show that head vomit is the only podcast you get less smart while listening to. At least you'll be smiling when it happens. Subscribe to the Head Vomit podcast and become a grinning idiot today.